My second regret that I have involves around Ayaka. Oh boy.
What's your regret about Aika? Isn't she perfect in your eyes, Kuya?
My second regret actually is not making a reaction video about Ayaka's story quest. So you didn't get the chance to see me tear up a bit during her dance and have a little bit of a fun time throughout her quest. I am a huge Ayaka simp. Why did I make a reaction video about her story quest? Oh my god. I'm sorry that I failed you. I won't fail you ever again, okay?
Can we bring back the era where Kuya made so many shorts about Ayaka?
Dude, that was a time.
I know I simped a little too hard for you, my precious princess, but please let me do this a little bit longer.
Welcome to a video that I've been wanting to make for years because today marks Kamisato Ayaka's 3rd year anniversary. Yes, it has been 3 years since we got our first hands on Inazuma and our first hands on my precious princess. And let me tell you, she and I go way back. We had a long history that we wrote in our books, for the better and for the worse. I legit did everything I can to serve my loyalty to her. She's the first character that I ever triple crowned. She's the first ever character that I got a skin for. And she's the first ever 5-star character that I got to see 6. We don't talk about the other 5-star. She doesn't exist. But there's one more thing that I haven't done that will make everything come full circle, and that is reacting to Ayaka's first ever story quest. I did mention that I wanted to do it before. I reacted to her other appearances in the event quests to compensate for that, but I've never done the very first one. So, thankfully, I can do that with the help of my good friend Jacqueline, who played a major role into getting me to where I am today.
Welcome in. I am here with my good friend Jacqueline. Say hi.
Hello. I like turtles.
I will do a review of the quest, my general thoughts really, and sprinkled in some of the highlights of the reaction. Are you ready? Hit that subscribe button with all your Misflitter swords and join our Discord so that we can create our own Ayaka cult. And then, we can now finally proceed. Why am I doing this?
There's a lot of things that I remember, to be honest with you. I haven't revisited the quest ever since I finished it 3 years ago.
I mean, I'm the same way. I haven't played this quest in like 3 years. This is like the first time I'm actually revisiting a story quest.
Same here, man. Same here.
After watching the entire quest after 3 years since its release, there are 3 things I can say. Firstly is that my own opinion for this quest hasn't entirely changed. Second is what a journey she has gone through post Inazuma after everything that has happened. And number 3, I miss playing Genshin Impact during my prime. Because this was during the era of the game where it's at its most highest, and the quality of quests that we were getting are at best decent and not that long, and at worst, very inconsistent and cringy as heck. This quest in particular clocks in at 1.5 hours, which makes me very thankful that Jacqueline was able to watch this with me.
You should come visit Leila with us sometime. They have loads and loads of delicious delicacies.
Which Zhongli can't afford.
He can't even rain out money anymore, and not even enough for him to save up for his own retirement bills.
Yeah, we're basically his sugar mama.
Pretty much.
I know the future quests since Sumeru and Fontaine, they have gotten a little bit better as far as writing is concerned, but god damn it, the runtimes can get too bloated. I would know because I did the last act of the Sumeru Archon quest on stream and it took me 6 hours to do it. To the point that I was awake up until 4 AM. I'm not doing that again. But what I can do is talk about the quest. If I could describe Ayaka's story quest with just 2 words, it would be just right. There is no additional useless lore needed to be explained to artificially expand the runtime, and the scenes here are mostly necessary to expand her character a little bit more, which helps me be more invested with what's going on.
It is time for me to honor my word!
Unsheathed sword.
Go get him, queen!
Okay, we don't need to see your Ayaka showcase, bro.
We know mine's better.
In my humble opinion, the second half of the quest is better than the first half because we are locked in on Ayaka's development here. The first half is where the usual cons and the Genshin quest are present. Like, some of the parts can get a bit cringe, scenes that are a bit too long, Paimon's existence.
Do you have anything for Paimon?
No,
we don't. No, we don't. Yeah, we called it.
But unlike the other character quests before and after Inazuma, in Ayaka's quest, we actually spend time with the character to the point that we grew attachment to her. What I mean is that there are a lot of scenes where it's just Ayaka and the Traveler, and that's just it. No background characters that are needed to be there, which is not usually the case in every other quest that I have played. And to top it all off, we had a date at the end, which we will talk about later. And like I mentioned, there are no NPCs that steals the spotlight away from the titular character. I don't even remember you. And as a result, we learned a lot about Ayaka and her status in her social life. And we grew a connection, a bond, the trust that we gained, the love that we will cherish.
You'd best do a count.
Double check if everything's there.
Yep, it's all here.
Are you sure? I think they forgot one.
Silk?
I know you don't see me, Jacqueline, but I'm holding up my Ayaka body pillow.
Even if it was just a
Speaking of Kamisato Ayaka, what about her character? What makes her impressive in my eyes? Well, she is a character that can be badass at times and a little bit cute and shy in most areas. My type of waifu. She's also a bit reserved in a way as she's upholding her status as the Shirisagi Himegimi of the Kamisato clan, or the White Heron Princess in English. But over time we see her break that mold, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Like the quest itself, my opinion of her hasn't really changed. I still love her. Why do you think I made dozens of videos about her throughout the years? Matter of fact, I think I gained a lot more appreciation for her after I revisit this quest. Knowing that her next event quest appearances, of which there are 3, we saw that she got what she was yearning for during this quest.
Or this dialogue choice in Genshin.
Most of the time I recover.
You got a
Don't be
friend
impatient.
in me.
You got a friend in me.
More like my lover.
You got a lover in me.
Alright, let's now focus on what I consider to be the main highlights of the quest. And so far, there are 3. Anyone seeing a pattern here? So we know a little bit about her social status, right? Well, in this quest, we expanded it a little bit. She's a person born with a position of power in Inazuma, aka a clan. And that's what many people in Inazuma knew her by. But she had a struggle that she tried to hide, but the owner of the restaurant that we went to spilled the tea for us, so thanks, I guess. I don't really drink tea, but if you provide me that kind of tea, I'd down a full barrel of it. Because of her status as the eldest daughter of a well-known clan, it is hard to make personal connections with others, and she can't really be herself due to it. Basically, she is socially alone and she has a skill issue with making friends, to which I can relate. And the skill issue when it comes to cooking, I guess? We keep making fun of Raiden Shogun for that so much that even I forgot that my princess also fumbled. It's a cute moment though. It's funny that we are trying to gas each other up but ended up fumbling nonetheless.
You're a wonderful person.
The response, oh shucks. You don't have to compliment me like that. It's just me cooking some dishes, you know.
Princess, if you know how to cook, you can cook well like Mahiru from The Angel Next Door. Trust me, you can cook well. Trust me. About the notebook side quest that Ayaka needs to do. I forgot about the Fox Envoy thingy. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Envoy, leave it comments. At first, I was confused when we established that plot point, but when we went to the cave to find a notebook that the Fox Envoy left for her, Now it all clicked. That fox envoy, whatever the fuck, is actually her mom. It was actually a sweet moment that her mom wrote out what life she wanted to live outside of the Kamisato clan, and Ayaka reflected on that and decided to do things her mom couldn't. Live out her life for once. Not as the Shirazagi Megimi of the Kamisato clan, not as the heroine princess, but as Ayaka the person. Yeah, I'm proud. She normally doesn't do that, but yeah, I'm very happy. Oh yeah, how can I forget about that little cutesy little side glance that Paimon gave us when Ayaka asked us out to go to the festival.
That face, that thousand eyes stare, that smirk on her face. That triggered something in me. And then the statement afterwards of Ayaka just basically asking us out to go to the festival. Relationship established.
It was cute. It was... I want to punch somebody. Not because I'm angry, but because it's just too freaking sweet.
Oh my god, we're on a date with Ayaka herself.
Well, it was my dream, honestly. And I couldn't be any more happier then, and I couldn't be any more happier now.
This is actually one of my favorite story quests. It's definitely one of the most memorable.
The moment that we finally go to the festival with just the two of us, with the title of the quest called With You, that fluttered my heart a little bit. Amongst all the chaos that Inazuma was going through at that time, this is the one time where we can just be ourselves and have a good fun alongside our precious princess right here. I guess this is where I could say that this is the start of Ayaka's journey with being more comfortable with more people and gaining more friends. She has the traveler by her side and is just having fun, not having to worry about her clan for a brief moment.
Okay, I'm gonna skip that part just
Dude,
for...
don't.
No.
Come on.
Not only that, he's using a dull blade. That would just bounce right off her.
You know what? Let's proceed.
She's just living her life as a regular Inazuma citizen, the life her mother couldn't live out. Particularly, the one thing that her mother really hasn't done, go to a festival, and she just did that, and I'm so proud. Such a shame that we didn't get to see Ayaka in her kimono in this scene. Ain't that what we were leading up to before?
Like, imagine if we had the cutscene at the third act, but with a kimono.
That's the thing, right? They had a part of her paying them to make a kimono, but they didn't wear it during the festival. I was like, what was that about if they didn't bring it up again?
And after that, we get to my favorite part of the quest, the ending scene.
Please, keep your eyes on me.
I will. Don't worry about it.
The first time I watched this, I got emotional because this was, and still is, the only time Hoyoverse would give me the kind of character quest that I would truly enjoy, and they chose the perfect character to do that. Her little dance at the river she did only for us to see solidified my love for Kamisato Ayaka. To think that she would trust us so much and is so thankful for our actions that she rewarded us with this, it makes my heart burst out like it wants to explode. If you know about the little trivia that the CEO of Hoyoverse motion captured the entire dance, as in he did the dance so that it would be authentic in a way, shows that Hoyoverse had a lot more effort putting in to Ayaka's story quest than I initially thought, and it solidified my love for this quest a little bit more. It's hot. Forgive me. And as the icing on the cake, the traveler did this.
We never do this to anyone else.
Never.
I had a feeling that this is the only time we will ever get this kind of quest again.
Have you seen the other time that the Traveler did that to the other characters? If you can't tell, that's my point. This is the time where I would like to get a bit personal because Ayaka did the same when she was with us alone together in some parts of the quest. Rich person with the katana in a clan aside, I had a similar struggle as Ayaka when it comes to our social life. Pre-pandemic, I had trouble making friends. The amount of friends that I have are very few, and the interests that I have are not matching with theirs. So I was like unable to socially interact because I couldn't relate. And I couldn't make time to hang out with them most of the time because I was studying a little bit too much. I was locked in, which is not a bad thing, but for me, it's alright. And then the pandemic hit and things got worse because I didn't know what to do. I was alone with my family in a house that's getting too small for me as I grew up throughout the years. The only silver lining to the pandemic happening is me creating this, KuyaAlfonso, which hopefully you are subscribed to. You better be. That's where I get to practice my social skills, and that's where I got to social media a little bit more just to see what was currently trending throughout the time. And then I met Genshin Impact, which was my main coping mechanism for my loneliness. Because of the game, I get to meet a lot of great people. I get to be friends with a lot of them, including Jakun. Links in the description, by the way. Then senior high happened, and I got a lot better socially because I was able to open up and relate to the people that I talk there a little bit more, and I get to be friends with a lot of them, which is such a relief. Every time I hang out with them, it was always such a good time. And yes, I get to live life a little bit more because I was able to go outside by my own a lot more freely than ever before. Granted, I'm not perfect. I still struggle socializing with other people, but I did get better over the years ever since pandemic started. And I feel a lot more confident with myself, a little bit more comfortable because I was able to meet the people who are very, very meaningful for me. I guess rewatching Ayaka's quest hit me a lot more differently because now I get to relate to Ayaka's struggles and experience the same growth that she had. I was so happy when that clicked. I guess this is where I could bring up Ayaka's other appearances because they are the main reasons why I appreciated this story quest a lot more, and by essence, it proved it. Seeing her hang out with more people during the 2.6 and 4.3 events puts a whole damn smile on my face. Because come on, this is what she was struggling with, and now she is not only with the Traveler but with other characters in and outside of Inazuma. Especially in the 4.3 event with the filmmaking thingy, she wanted to travel outside of Inazuma, right? Boom! There she is now in Fontaine. She's just happy to be there, and she could make a great actress if I wanted to direct a movie in the future. Now that is an American in the making. I wrote the script before the failed assassination happened. That did not age well. And yeah, how could I forget about the 3.4 event where she unveiled her new outfit? I don't care what you say, I love it. And don't you think that was foreshadowed in the first story quest?
I have one other very small request. Could you?
Why is she being so secretive all of a sudden?
You know, not gonna lie, I have a feeling that was foreshadowing to the Spring Bloom outfit.
Oh yeah, Spring Bloom Missive.
Yeah.
Please import it from Fontaine.
Don't say it like that, Jesus Christ!
Wait, do I sound similar to her?
The tone, it's a kinda similar, dude.
Or was I being delusional? I hope I am.
I would like to visit Fontaine sometimes, and I saw those dresses that they can make, so could you do one of them for me?
That event quest is where she was a lot more open than ever before compared to her story quest. She got a big leap. I am so proud. What I'm trying to say is that throughout these appearances, we can see her grow out of her inner struggles and just be her among her ever-growing list of friends. Her mother would be proud seeing her daughter grow into a person she could be, and it makes me happy and also proud to see her grow into a more confident princess.
I think it's a very good testament to Ayaka's character, as well as a good example of how story quests in Genshin should be. They should be focused on creating memories with the character, as well as getting a broader perspective on how they actually are as characters. They shouldn't always be about completing the objectives they have in their everyday lives. It should be
Right.
focused on spending more time creating a bond with those characters. And I think in Ayaka's case, it fits really well with that.
This is still my favorite quest in Genshin Impact, not because it's an important quest or anything. With all her struggles that I similarly went through, and all her cutesy antics with the Traveler, and the date that we had, that stuck with me after all this time. I'm glad that I chose to revisit this after 3 years since it released, because I had a lot to say about it now than if I did this 1 or 2 years ago. My love for Ayaka initially started as a silly little thing when I saw the leaks and her trailers, but I haven't really figured out why. But over the years, it clicked. And it keeps on clicking. I've never simped for a character this hard ever since ever. Not even Vaishni. Now I have a whole backlog of story quests just sitting there waiting for me to play them, both old and new. But I don't want to. Not that I don't like them or wouldn't like them, but you know, the investment and the connection I had with the Precious Princess, they wouldn't even match it. And screw those bloated runtimes as well. Yikes. If you haven't played this quest, go do it. It's a cute little break from all the chaos that is anime Japan. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you then. Oh my god. Thank you for letting me do this. Oh my god.